Okay, so we're going to use our inverse operation. So if we have k minus 11 equals 27, then right, we need to add 11 to both sides. And so do you think that would be the subtraction property of equality, the addition property, the division property, or the multiplication property? We're doing addition. So that would be our addition property of equality. So if you add the same thing to both sides, the equations are still equal. That's what that property tells us. And then if we have m plus 5 equals 23, what would we need to do to solve for m? And don't write this down. You don't have to write this down. It would be so much easier if you guys had your workbook. Good, Jaden. Yes, we would subtract 5 from both sides. And that is the subtraction property of equality. So if you subtract the same thing from both sides, your equations are still going to be equal, as long as you do the same thing to both sides. Now here, x is being divided by 14. So if we want to undo that division, we have to multiply both sides by 14. So that's the multiplication property of equality. If we multiply both sides by the same thing, the equations are still equal. And then to solve for n here, since we're multiplying, to undo that, we have to divide. And so that is the division property of equality. Okay, so some practice problems. So again, you guys have been doing this all throughout algebra, all throughout geometry. So just solving equations. So 5m plus 4 equals 7m plus 6. We use our inverse operations. So we need to get all of the m's to one side and then just all the integers to the other side. So what do you guys want to do first? Send it to me in the chat. Or you can talk, feel free to turn your mic on and tell me. Yes, we can definitely start by subtracting 4 from both sides, John. So then we have 5m equals 7m, and 6 minus 4 is positive 2. And now we need to get all the m's together. So we would want to subtract m from both sides. So then we have 5m minus 7m, which is negative 2m, equals 2. And what's the last thing I need to do? Divide, yes. So you're going to divide by whatever number's in front of m, which in this case is negative 2, so that you're left with m equals 2 divided by negative 2, which is negative 1. Any questions on that first problem? And then if you don't have your workbook, just write, like these practice problems, you can just write them down on blank paper, and then you can just upload it when we're done today, and that'll count. Okay, then we have negative 5x plus 3 equals 2x minus 1. So what should I do first? Yes, I can subtract 3 from both sides. Doesn't matter the order, you just start moving something. Then we have negative 5x equals 2x. Negative 1 and negative 3 is negative 4. And then can someone else tell me what would I do next? We could add 4, but there's really no.
Wait, I put the wrong number.
Oh, okay.
Subtract 2x.
Yes, that's what we want to do. We want to get our x's all together on the same side. Perfect. So then we get negative 7x equals negative 4. And then our last step, we just need to divide both sides by negative 7. And so x equals, since they're both negatives, it becomes a positive 4/7. Okay, let's go ahead and flip. And 3 and 4 are pretty much just like the other ones we did. So let's jump down to 5 because 5 has some like terms. So you always want to check before you start moving things side to side. You want to make sure there's no like terms on the same side. So in this case, if there are, you always want to do that first. So who can tell me a pair of like terms that we can combine before we start moving side to side? So remember, like terms, they have the same variable raised to the same power.
7x and 5x?
Yes. So like 7x, positive 7x, and negative 5x. Those are like terms. Good, John. So 7x minus 5x combines to just 2x. And then Jaden told me 18. So I'll circle the 18 and the negative 23. Yes, those are also like terms. So they're just integers that we can combine. 18 minus 23 is negative 5. And now that equals 27. Now we just use our inverse operation. So 2x minus 5 equals 27. We want to add 5 to both sides. So 2x equals 32. Divide by 2, and x equals 16. Any questions about combining like terms before solving? All right. Number 6, we have negative 5x plus 3 plus 2x equals 7 times 2x minus 5 minus 47. So you're going to see a little bit more complex problems like this in this class. So you want to follow your order of operations. So we need to do parentheses first. So first we need to distribute this 7 to everything in the parentheses. So 7 times 2x is 14x. 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. Any questions how we got rid of the parentheses? All right, so we'll bring everything else down. So we have negative 5x plus 3 plus 2x equals 14x minus 35, and we bring down our negative 47. Any questions so far? Okay, now before we start moving things from side to side, you want to check for like terms. So just looking at the left side, what like terms can we combine?
The 5x and 2x.
Excellent.
5x.
That's right. We can combine the negative 5x and the positive 2x, which leaves us with negative 3x. There's nothing to combine the 3 with on this side of the equation, so we just bring it down. And then what like terms do we have that we can combine on the right side of our equation?
Negative 35 and negative 47.
Excellent. Yep. Very good, Victoria. So negative 35 and negative 47, which combines to negative 82, I think. And then there's nothing to combine with our 14x, so we're just going to bring down positive 14x. And now that there's no like terms on the same side of the equation, we can start moving side to side. So we could add 3x to both sides. You could have subtracted 3 from both sides. You could have added 82. There's lots of different ways. The order doesn't matter in which you do it. You'll still get the same answer. So 3 equals negative 82 plus 17x. And so we would add 82 to both sides. So 85 equals 17x. Divide both sides by 17. I'm wondering if it's 5. Let's see. 87 for 85. Divided by 17. Yep, it's 5. All right. Any questions on solving equations? Hopefully, it seems like it's all review from algebra.
So if you add 2 negatives, it stays negative?
Yes, that's right. Any other questions? All right. So then the next page, this one you'll complete by watching the video. So this is the study guide that goes with the video that's on the slides. And so is this one. It's just more pretty much of what we were doing. Which maybe I won't make you watch the video because I don't know if you really need to. So let's just do these first few problems here. And then you won't have to watch the video. So I ordered 3 boxes of supplies. Each box contained 20 pencils and 3 erasers. I decided to keep 2 pencils and 1 eraser for myself. How many of each item is left for the class? So we need to figure out the number of pencils and erasers. So how could we figure out the number of pencils? So we know that there's 20 pencils in each box and they ordered 3 boxes, right? So it would be 20 times the number of boxes, which in this case, there were 3 boxes. So there would be 60 pencils. And then the box also contained 3 erasers in each box. So to calculate the number of erasers, it would be 3b, which in this case, 3 boxes were ordered. So there would be 9 total erasers. Then it says, I decided to keep 2 pencils and 1 eraser for myself. So if they kept 2 pencils, there are 58 pencils left for the class. And then if there were 9 erasers, they kept 1 for themselves. So 9 minus 1 would be 8 erasers. Okay, and then we'll do one more and then it's already 219. Okay, so one side of a barn is 54 feet long. So let's just draw a barn and we'll act as one side of a rectangular pen. Okay. So here's our rectangular pen for animals. And it's along a barn that is 54 feet. the farmer would like to make the length of the pen 3 times as long as the width. So my drawing doesn't match. Let's put the 54 over here. So the width is 54, and then they want to make the length 3 times as long as the width. So here's our width. So to find the length, that's going to equal 3 times the width. So 3 times 54 that would be 162. So then what are the dimensions of this pen? It's going to be 162 by 54. And what is the length of fence needed to build this pen? So if the pen's going to go all the way around, you're going to need the perimeter, right? Which means you have to add up all the sides. So that's perimeter. You do 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So P equals 2 times our length, which is 162, plus 2 times our width, which is 54. So that's 324 plus 108, which is 432. So the perimeter, that's how much fence, 432 feet of fence. Any questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the quiz. If you want to go ahead and open up sorry, I had just restarted my computer so that I could get my camera to work again. Okay, so we're on 1.4. So let's do the 1.4 solving equations quiz. And I want to see if we all have the same questions.
We can't see the screen.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, open yours up and let's see if we have the same questions.
Yeah, I think they're just in different orders.
Okay, so 1 and 2 are the same. Okay, let me scroll down. Look at 3, 4, and 5 too.
Yeah, it's in different order.
Okay, but all the questions are the same?
No, we don't have number 4.
Okay, so Jasmine, you don't have number 4, yours is different?
Yeah, I don't have number 4.
Oh, darn, okay. So I wonder how, I'm trying to figure out like rationale for it, because I had opened the quiz, I looked at it, it's not like I submitted it or anything. And then I did those 5 questions. And then when I opened it again, then 3 of them were the same. So I don't know. And then now Jasmine, 4 of yours are the same. Does anyone else have different questions, or are all, okay, Victoria, you have some different ones too. Oh, okay. So then I guess what we'll do moving forward, since we have different questions on the quiz, one is I can ask like our curriculum person if she can change it so that we all get the same questions. If that's not an option, then I guess I'll just plan on working through the guided practice together instead of doing the quiz, because it's not really fair for people that don't have those exact questions. But for today, since it sounds like we have most of the same questions, we'll just go ahead and do the quiz together, and then I'll try to figure out how to get us, hopefully try to figure out a way to get us all to have the exact same quiz. Okay. Okay, so I want to show both at the same time. Okay, so for my number 1, we have 3x plus 2 equals 4x minus 5 times x plus 6. And I want us to solve for x. Okay, so what do I need to do first? What does PEMDAS say we have to do?
Subtract 2 from both sides.
Not yet.
Parentheses.
Yes, we have to do our parentheses first. So we're going to distribute that -5 to everything in the parentheses. So -5 times x, which is -5x, -5 times 6, which is -30. And then we'll bring everything else down. So 3x plus 2 equals 4x minus 5x minus 30. Any questions so far? Okay, and then now before we start moving side to side, we got to check for like terms. So I don't see any like terms on the left. On the right, there are some like terms. What can I combine?
Four X and 5x.
Excellent. So 4x and -5x, which would be -x. Then we bring down our 3x plus 2, and that equals -x minus 30. Now we can start moving side to side. So we'll add x to both sides. That gives us 4x plus 2 equals -30. And then I need to get rid of this 2. So I subtract 2 from both sides. 4x equals -32. Divide by 4. And x equals -8. Yeah, and my questions are different again because I looked at the quiz too yesterday while I was prepping for our live session, and I did not have this question. So I don't understand how it picks. This one was the same, 1 was, but not 2. Okay, so the top of the John Hancock building is a rectangle. So we have a rectangle. So we have our length and we have our width. And it says the length is 60 more than the width. The perimeter is 520 feet. What is the width? Okay, so the width is just W. And then it's saying the length is 60 feet more. So the length equals, if it's 60 feet more, that means we're going to be adding it to our width. So the length is equal to W plus 60. Any questions how I got that W plus 60? Just because it says the width or the length is 60 more. So 60 more than the width. So we write that as W plus 60. Okay, so then we know perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we have 2 times W plus 60 plus 2 times our width, which is W. And now we have to distribute. So 2 times W is 2W, 2 times 60 is 120 plus 2W. And we know what P is. They told us the perimeter is 520 feet. And so we're trying to solve to find the width. So we need to look for our like terms first. So it looks like we have 2W and 2W, which we can combine to 4W plus 120. And now we just solve for W. So we would subtract 120 from both sides. And we get 400 equals 4W. And we need to solve for W by dividing both sides by 4. And so W would be 100. Say hi. Hi. Okay, mommy's almost done. You can go wait for mommy out there. Okay, any questions on number 2? Okay, number 3 looks like it's not so bad. Which of the following should you do first when solving the equation? So we didn't have to solve it. So what would you do first? What do we know we need to do first in an equation like number 3?
Divide the -2 through the parentheses.
Excellent. Yep. We have to distribute the -2 through the parentheses. That's right. You always got to get rid of your parentheses first. All right, let's see. Which equation would best represent the situation below using only width as the unknown? The top of the John Hancock building is a rectangle whose length, this is the same one. So let's see. Whose length is 60 feet more than the width. That was the exact same. Oh, and so we can look back over here. And it was 2 times W plus 60 plus 2W equals 520. So it's this right here. That's how we found the perimeter. Any questions on number 4? Okay, which of the following words indicates a subtraction mathematical operator? Okay, so when you hear which of these words will you subtract? Which of these words tells you to subtract? So ratio, yields, decreased by, or together?
Decreased by.
Excellent. Yep. So if it says it decreased by, that means you're going to subtract. Very good, John. Okay, so those are my 5 questions. If you have a different one, we could do it if you guys want to tell me what the question is, or if you just want to do those ones on your own. It is 2:33, so we're officially done, but I can stay on and help you with your specific one if you would like, or you guys are free to go. Feel free to send me an email if you want about how you thought today went or what you'd like me to do, because this is a different curriculum, and I haven't quite figured out the best way to use our live session. So I'm open to any suggestions that you feel would be most helpful. And then hopefully you guys will have your workbooks. Definitely next week when we meet, everyone should have their workbooks. And so that will certainly help things go a little bit smoother. Any questions?
Question number 2, it said the correct answer was 160 on my end.
Really?
Well, it says what is the length, and on yours it says what is the width.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that's how it mixes up the questions. So yes, so if yours is asking for the length, mine was asking for the width. So if yours is asking for the length, we know the length is equal to the width plus 60. So I guess you had to do one more step then. Once you solved for the width, which was 100, you had to plug it in to find the length. So yeah, then that would be 100 plus 60, which is 160.
Okay.
You had that question too, John?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Anything else? All right. Thank you guys. Well, you're free to go. Have a good week. If you want to meet one-on-one, you can schedule a Calendly appointment Monday or Tuesdays and Thursdays between 9 and 12. I'm open to help you. You can always email me too. So you guys are free to go. Have a good day, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks for coming. And yeah, feel free to stay on if you have any questions that you want to ask me.
But I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to say, now you have all of my siblings.
I do? I know.
Yeah, you have,
okay.
You have Dakota, Dabriana, Solomon, and Isaiah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yes, I know. I've noticed that I do have a lot in your family. So that's everyone.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Jasmine. Bye, Victoria. Bye, guys. See you next week.